Hi, I'm Connie Fitzgerald with RE/MAX Closers, and I'm keeping it real in real estate. This is my son Michael. He is the new broker here at RE/MAX Closers. I was the broker for the past 5 years, and I wanted to bring him in today to say a few words.
You cut me loose and set me free. You make me win every way.
Mike, who's the boss?
Well, I guess if, I
Who's
don't
the
know.
boss?
What do you say? I don't know if I want to be classified that, because boss backwards is what? Double SOB, so I don't know why I want to be that. But in all seriousness, as the broker, you're in charge of all the agents. I am the first millennial broker in our network, to my knowledge, as well as in the RE/MAX network as well. Being the broker, you are responsible for all of the agents. So yes, technically, I am now my mother's boss as well. So in turn, however, you always respect mentorship as well as your maternal aspect too. We have a lot of leadership here. We also have Kim Hills, who's 40 years in the business as well. So we have collectively over 100 plus years between the leadership to make sure everyone is ready for the future. So from the tech aspect to human relations to public relations as well with the consumers, trying to make sure everyone is protected and getting the right values. So in turn, yes, it is a title, but it's also a responsibility. So regardless, we still have an associate broker as Connie Fitzgerald too, so to lead us in for many years to come for the future.
So Michael's always had a gift. Even at a very young age, he's been able to talk to people. He was always able to handle himself in a manner that really attracted people to him. And I think that's what makes a good leader. Someone that can communicate effectively, talk to you. We joke about who's the boss quite a bit back and forth. Our office, we do have a little bit of fun as well. And I enjoy that. What are some good attributes of being a good leader these days, Mike?
Well, I think you have to have a strong moral compass. That's number one. Understanding your agent's perspective, always having their back, as well as the consumers as well, and making sure it is a win-win situation. Always moving forward towards the future, whether that is embracing technology or changing aspects with the inventory, things of that nature as well. So it's constantly evolving, I would feel, is an aspect of a good leader, as well as keeping your culture that is open as well as responsive.
So moral values are really important in not only business, but family
ethics
life,
too, yeah.
family life as well. You're also an uncle.
That's correct, yes.
To my five grandkids.
Yeah.
He's the great uncle.
I'm not a great uncle, I'm the greatest uncle.
The greatest, that's right.
Well,
But
yes.
family values are really important, and I think we're a family-oriented
Yeah.
brokerage as well, and we keep that in mind for all our agents. We treat them like family.
Yeah, they are family as well. So,
Good part of it, right?
well, your work family is something that you actually sometimes work more with your work family than you do your own.
We have a wonderful office. It's a hybrid model. It's very modern. It's unique. It's got a little twist on Monopoly. So if you're over our way sometime, feel free to pop in and check us out. We like a little pop of color. I had the vision, but Michael was the one who actually orchestrated it and brought it to fruition. And it really was a mix of both of us in the concept and getting everything done. We like the modern twist. What do you think, Mike, makes a really good agent in these times and being more of the modern world moving forward?
I think, to be honest and authentic, is probably the biggest aspect of not trying to be something you're not, is actually driving through. If you don't have the answer, is having the mentorship or leadership to get it. I think being more realistic and approachable versus that I'm the industry expert, I'm this, I've been doing it for 70 years, of that nature. Tech has evolved, so you have to be well-rounded at having your ethics and morals. And, being willing to be a team player, I would feel, is being adaptable in this current market. And always having your client's best interest, whether you're on the buy side or sell side.
And we deal with a lot of personalities, big personalities, quiet people. How do you handle all that? Because I know agents that are highly successful, they're not all the same. They come in all varieties, right? So what do you think really, what's ideal for that persona? Do you think it's just someone who's humble and kind? Or do you think it's like they come into their own as they come into the sales business?
I would say there's something that we do in our company. It's called the DISC profile, which is an analyzation. It's not 100% accurate, and it's not putting people in a box or a lens, but some people are hybrids of the acronyms, but most real estate agents fall into two quadrants. D is dominant and I is influential. The S is for support and C is for your analytical engineering type personas. In turn, the D agents are very good at what they do.
Your favorite? The dominant?
Yes, a lot of people think I'm a D personality, but actually I'm a high I. D personality is great because they can help you make decisions. We're going to get the sign in the yard. We're going to sign the listing agreement tonight. This is your homework. We're going to go X, 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 and X. We're going to make it happen. We're going to get the highest and best value. So let's get the photographer in by next Wednesday. Are you okay with that? And most of the time, those agents are very successful. In turn, you have I's, which are influential. We're going to lay out the data points. We're going to lay out our opinions, perspective, processes of best way to get there. And we hope that you go with our opinion as well. I like to praise quite a bit. It's part of my personality. I get that from my parents. But it's an authentic praise. So we like to share those as well. Whether it is getting the highest listing of your career or going through the most difficult of your transaction, which we've had a few over this market. And in turn,
celebrating your milestones, right?
Correct. And wins in whatever capacity that may be. Whether it is your first rental that you've just got accomplished, whether it is to your highest transaction, like we just mentioned, or maybe it's hitting your 100th, and it's the volume aspect. But staying authentic is really going to be your main point.
So celebrating wins is very important. And give us an example of what you would do for an agent, that celebrated their first closing.
So for example, we would always do a shout out, and don't tell her, we'll have to earmuff it, but we probably would do a champagne toast of some sort. What do you say for a brunch of some sort?
Cheers, mate.
Exactly. But we would have everybody in the office come together and celebrate that win. So whether it is in the afternoon or if it is in the evening time, that we would plan around that. And we've had a lot of wins around here lately as well.
And supportive and being collaborative, there are two words that go together with RE/MAX closers. Support is something that's given, and it's very hard to absorb unless you actually receive it. But being collaborative is something that's sharing, and coming from an environment where agents didn't really entrust to share knowledge and things like that. Would you say our brokerage is one of the more open office environments?
Yes, that is the number one foundation of our entire philosophy here is we're going to be open, supportive, collaborative, and driven. And if that's the case, then we may not be the best culture fit, which, in turn does happen. And our culture is very important to us. And every agent has their own journey, and they're their own hero in their own journey as well. And so I could have done the same transaction as you or vice versa, and we could have multiple different experiences along the way. One agent's stress level may be very well, they can tolerate quite a bit. The next one, it could be in shambles, and you're needing 5 years of therapy, depending on the client. It does happen, But in turn, by sharing your experiences, because that's something we can all relate to, is how did it make you feel through the transaction? How did you survive? We were just joking, we just saved about 4 fires today. And that's just the notion of you save the fire, you go to the next one, or in turn, you're building the next step of the next foundation. So it is in turn without sharing everyone's experiences and being open and helping solve that faster is how we can accomplish quite a bit.
So we call that living in physical reality, right? Putting out the fires, making things happen. We do the impossible, right, for clients. We want to make sure that any unthought of option, any reason to help navigate, get things done, we're here about getting it done. RE/MAX closers, what does closer stand for?
What do you say? Someone that locks up a business deal.
Right.
Finishes it.
And we get behind it, right?
Correct.
We're just not saying it, we do it. We're making miracles happen every day for our clients. So that's really, really good and very supportive, right?
Correct, yes.
So anything advice that you would give a new agent coming out in the industry?
Any good advice for a new agent?
Well, we know the turnover is very high for new
Yes.
agents in the office.
Ironically, I always joke that I would never get licensed unless my mother was the broker. I've eaten those words repeatedly. Now I am the broker. So.
Oh wait, she got her license and made you get a broker. Oh,
Yes.
That's right.
Yes, we hold each other accountable in our family, which is very important. And accountability in our company, as well as family, means love. And that's in turn is to make sure whatever your goals are, things of that nature. It's not necessarily where you start at a real estate firm in general. It is a matter of finding the right culture, finding the right mentor who is ethical and honest. I've heard too many horror stories in the recruiting room that is quite detrimental to folks' careers. Some have been able to, after we have conversations, are able to adapt and grow. In turn, some just have left the industry. Unfortunately, we do have a high churn rate in real estate as an agent. A lot of people see what it takes some agents to accomplish quite some time, maybe a 10-year parameter, and think that, hey, we can skip a few steps and get there. Unfortunately, nothing, you may find immediate success, and I wish everybody congratulations on that, but you want to sustain the success. There are no shortcuts in real estate. You have preached that to everybody residually. In turn, would be getting your fundamentals. Yes, having a business plan is great, but if you don't enact the paper that is written on it, it's useless. So having a support system, having the right folks that you choose to align with and affiliate. It's not just that meeting where you meet the broker or whoever is in the recruitment personnel and they get you all, excited, sign on the line, get your ICA signed, and then what happened to them? Where'd they go? In turn, I like to make sure I'm very available for communication. I think you always were as well as the broker.
Well, you get to meet the broker too.
Yes.
Some agents never meet their broker.
Right, that's true.
They barely get time with their manager, right?
Yeah, that too as well.
We hear that quite a bit.
And it is about not being accessed every 2 minutes, but it's a matter of being in a reasonable time to get whatever those questions are. And I have not experienced every aspect that has ever been in real estate. However, I'm surrounded enough to get the answer I may need. One of my professors is the great Mary Chippa. Absolutely love her. If I ever am stumped, I'm going to contact her first. She is the perfect epitome of what an agent on an encyclopedia is. She practically edited the Marilyn Wall book, so.
And loves it, by the way. There's a niche for everybody in real estate, and she is by far like the queen of that.
And so in turn, as one of my mentors, I have many, I really respect that as well. I also have my mother. But back to what it makes to an agent at the beginning is you've got to have passion, number one. You've got to put your clients first. I have heard many times, why did you get into this business? Why did you start in real estate? Surprisingly, the answer is I had such a horrible agent, I had to become one myself to rewrite wrongs for other folks.
True.
I'm going, as an industry, we need a lot to change. That's crazy. And that's the God honest truth. I'll get that probably 6 out of 10, in the recruitment room. But it's a matter of not just getting started, but creating a plan, finding what niche market, maybe it's waterfront, maybe it's farms, maybe it's REOs, maybe it is just a listing specialist, buying specialist, things of that nature. But finding what parameter in this industry is right for you. There's different joys in every aspect, and you cannot be a master of all certain, industries. Of the, waterfront is very different, maybe from luxury, things of that nature. So it's a matter of aligning with the right place for the right education, as well as systems and where you can flourish as an individual is where I would say,
I think the other part of this, what you're talking about too, is goals.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't be the master to everything, but if you set goals and then you look at your goals, we always every year have our goals reset for the following upcoming year. We plan that in advance, right? And then we break those goals down on a monthly basis, then we monitor them weekly. I think if you could focus on a path that you want to go, and then you have your goals that align with it, and then you monitor your goals. One beautiful thing about goals that I've learned is they're adjustable. When you're doing really good, you can increase them. Maybe you've overshot it, you can bring it back in. That is not a fail, and if it was, we teach you to accept it gracefully, but it's a win because you're able to look at that through a lens and bring it in, and you can actually focus and do really well with that. Also, we do word of the year. One year my word was focus, and guess what I paid attention to? I was very focused that year, very driven. Some people bring joy in their life. They love the word joy, right? Maybe it's love, maybe it's structure, maybe it's building. So we do a whole series on that, and it really is a beautiful exercise, and I think the agents really walk away with, they actually have a stone with their word on it, but it's something that you can honor for the whole year. Right?
Correct.
So thank you for bringing that up, Mike. I think goals are important. Being a new agent, there's so many words and pearls of wisdom But one thing I would say, right, coming early on in your career and where I am, a lot of agents come in and they want to be super hyper successful.
Yes.
But what they have to understand is you want to be where I am this many years later. So you really have to laser focus when you come into the business and set your goals, figure out the path that you're going to be on, and you have to monitor those things. And I think with the right person, coach, success, brokerage, wherever you're at, that gets behind you and gives you that level of support, you're going to be successful in your real estate career.
And regardless of wherever it is, it still relies on you as the individual to make it happen. You can have the best plans laid out in front of you, but if you fail to execute that, or if you don't have the passion to get up and do it every day, call the clients, cold call, go after expireds. I think just that general passion for your business, because you are in business for yourself, in turn, then it probably won't work out either,
Because you're the rainmaker. You're
Correct.
the one who makes the phone ring. You're dependent on yourself. And if you do the things and the activities that you should be doing on a regular basis, you should be able to generate the income that you desire in your future goals. Wouldn't you agree with that, Mike?
100%.
Okay. Well, we're going to wrap it up today. Thank you for joining us. We'd love to chit-chat more, right? So keep us in mind, and we'll have some more series coming up soon. Thanks again.